This is a song that we love. All right, let's do it. I'll
With Donna
stop.
Michael. One more time. So this is a swaying song. Here we go. I am a light.
Oh, and Michelle is here to speak.
I am a light. I am a light in this world. I am a light. I am a light. I am a light in this world. And I shine. And I shine. And I shine so bright. And I shine. And I shine. And I shine so bright. You are a light. Turn to someone and sing, you are a light. You are a light. You are a light. You are a light in this world. You are a light. You are a light. You are a light in this world. And you shine. And you shine. And you shine. And you shine so bright. And you shine. And you shine. And you shine. And you shine. And you shine so bright. We are a light going up now. We are a light. We are a light. We are a light in this world. We are a light. We are a light. We are a light in this world. And we shine. And we shine. And we shine. Yes, you do. And we shine so bright. And we shine. And we shine. And we shine. And we shine. And we shine so bright. We shine. We shine. We shine. We shine. We shine. We shine. You're just glowing right now. Beautiful.
Wow, you guys make me cry. I just could be, but no, it's the love. It's the love in the room. So we're gonna now take it down a notch and do a little meditation, and we have our beloved Mary to be with us.
So let's just take a breath in together and release. I just invite you to take these words from Eckhart Tolle into silent contemplation. Time isn't precious at all because it is an illusion. What you perceive as precious is not time, but the one point that is out of time, the now. The precious indeed. The more you are focused on time, past and future, the more you miss the now, the most precious thing there is. Your outer journey may contain 1,000,000 steps. Your inner journey has only one, the step you are taking right now. It is not uncommon for people to spend their whole life waiting to start living. So it is in this moment that I turn my awareness to the presence of the divine, knowing that that infinite life is ever present in all ways, at all times, in all things. And I just immerse myself in that overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God, just knowing that I am perfect, whole, and complete in that divine life, ever connected. For that life sustains and energizes and just fills my entire being. It is who and what I am. Just this divine presence experiencing itself as me. And as I know that oneness for myself, I know that oneness for all of life, for all those who are gathered here today, who are online at this moment, who are watching this service in a future moment of now. I'm just so grateful for this time together. I just know that Spirit lives and moves and has its being in all things, and it does so in each one of us, in this spiritual community, in the broader community in San Diego, and indeed just around the world. In our awareness of it, in our forgetfulness of it, even when it doesn't look like we think it ought to look, it is still good, it is still God. There is an allness and a oneness with all of life. And I just know that this time together in this community, in this room, online, that this is sacred time, that this is holy ground that we stand on. And so I'm just so grateful and thankful for this time together. And as Reverend Suzette said, thankful for the weather, the beautiful weather that we get to experience in early February, 70 degrees. I am just so grateful for all of life. And I just know that this service opens up that everybody who is participating in service today for Reverend Michelle, just knowing that the divine speaks through us, sings through us, does technology, does hospitality, does service in all ways. And I just declare this good. I allow it to unfold in perfect divine right order. I call it forth into being, saying, let it be done. And so it is.
So it is.
And now I will turn it over to our noodlers over here, Cahill and Delene.
Well, I thought we were supposed to noodle.
That's
Okay,
perfect.
okay, good. Why don't you introduce it?
Who are they?
Oh, we're doing
Cahill and Delene.
Well,
Wonder
let's
side.
get
Let's give them a round. They're more than just noodlers.
It seems we've had a whole stack of synchronicities here today. We weren't originally booked today, but we got a call and talking about what we were going to do, and we said, well, we're not booked. And then they decided, well, I guess we are now. So here we are.
Miraculously, we actually had this Sunday off, which was one of the few this year. And look, all of you folks
Yeah.
showed up. And
It's just wonderful.
all you
Good
folks
to
out
see our old
there.
friend Gisela again. And you're reading from Eckhart Tolle, who is one of my favorite writers in the New Thought movement. He may not categorize himself that way, but he definitely is. So there. And this is a song that we wrote together, the two of us, based on reading and listening to a lot of Eckhart Tolle, because the points he's making about presence and this is the only moment really speaks to us. So this song is called Wondrous Eyes, which plays very well into the subject for today, because that's the wonder of...
The inner being.
Yeah. So here we go. This is called Wondrous Eyes. You ready?
2, 3, 4. Let's start again.
3. You good?
2, 3.
You deserve better.
4. Wondrous eyes, just open them wide. Wondrous eyes,
magnified
across the great divide.
It's as if I am seeing life for the first time. It's as if I've been blind, locked up in time. Have I been dreaming, or is this the dream unreeling? Like a lightning bolt through the sky. Wondrous eyes,
Just open them wide.
wondrous eyes, magnified
Across the great divide. It's as if I've been walking around with a blindfold. It's as if someone suddenly pulled it away. Why have I been crying when I could have been high flying like a falcon through the sky?
Wondrous eyes,
Just open them wide.
wondrous eyes, magnified
Across the great divide.
Wondrous eyes,
Just open them wide.
wondrous eyes, magnified
Across the great divide. Yeah.
wondrous eyes,
Just open them wide.
wondrous eyes, magnified
Across the great divide. Wondrous eyes. Ooh, wondrous eyes. Thank you.
Yay. All right. So, I have a very special friend that sits behind me, who, it's always special with you. Today we were gonna, we normally split the talk, and I said, I'm not sure. So she just took over and she said, I'll do it. And I went, great. Anyway, Michelle is a wonderful speaker, a lovely person, right, guys? Yes, okay, I agree. I'm glad we agree on that. And And I'm excited because I get to sit back and just enjoy. So let's give Michelle a great hand, and I'll come back later.
Thank you. I love you. Oh, I love you too. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, make me blush. Yeah, it's very nice. Oh, I am so grateful to be here again. It's so great to be, for you to host us again. I think we've been here about 3 or 4 times now, and it's always a pleasure. And since it's been a while since we've been here, I was going to have us do this reconnect thing, but I think we kind of did that with the first song, but you know what? Let's do it again. Okay. So well, here's what I'm going to invite you to do. Turn to someone beside you, behind you, in front of you, someone preferably that you don't know, but I think you probably know pretty much everybody, and connect in some way. Just, touch their shoulder, their hand, gaze in their eyes. Okay, I'm waiting. And you can either do this, you can either say this to them. Okay, I'm still talking. You can either say this to them at the same time or one at a time, but as you connect, say, "In you I see the light of God." In you I see the light of God. In you I see the light of God. We are one. We are one. In my head, that played out better, but it still worked. All right. Can you feel that in the room? Yeah. I can feel the good God vibes with the music and the meditation. Wow, this room is really filled up. Again, it's really wonderful to be here. So my Sunday message this morning is called Interbeing, the oneness in all things. And I heard you mention interbeing. Interbeing is the overarching theme from our umbrella organization, Centers for Spiritual Living, for February. So I kind of wanted to incorporate that. But I also wanted to talk about something that's really up for me right now, which is living the spiritual principle of oneness in my life in a deeper way, in a more active way every day. And interbeing was a term that was coined by the late Vietnamese monk Thich Nhat Hanh. And he gave it a new name, but it's an ancient Buddhist concept. It's not a new idea. But I love that when people give old, ancient, spiritual, changeless principles a new face, a new way of embodying them and feeling them. I don't know, it just makes it fresh for me. And it makes it come alive in a new way that I hadn't experienced before. So that's what he did with interbeing. And his definition of interbeing is being in touch with the reality of the world while continuing on the path of enlightenment. So being present with what is, what's up, what we see in the world all around us, but not being defined by it or limited by it or boxed in by it, but being able to be present with it while we're still doing our spiritual practice and living our spiritual principles in our day as we move around in this world of form. So it's sort of like witnessing our oneness when we look around at the world and we see how, nature works, how things come in a cycle, and yet feeling it on a new level, not just seeing it with our eyes, but feeling it with our being. If we wanted to put it in science of mind terms, we could say that we are experiencing ourselves as individual expressions of the one universal life, while still living within the one universal life and knowing that everything we think, feel, our state of being is influencing this larger universal life that we are one with and living in. Isn't that a great way to look at it? And of course, I have a story to tell that really illustrates this idea of our environment does not dictate our experience of a situation. We can be in an environment and have two entirely different experiences of the same situation. So the story is, I'm going to give you the Reader's Digest version, because it was kind of a long story. Honestly, I think I've probably told this story a couple of times before. So you one heart, one minders, this is probably a review. So just a couple of things that I'm saying in the talk are just probably a review, but that's okay. So the story was told by a man who is a river raptor. He likes to go down, rivers and go on the rapids and what have you. And anyway, he tells the story that he had the opportunity to go down the Motu River in New Zealand twice in 1 year. And he gives a lot of beautiful flowery language about how beautiful the river is and how it goes through some of the wildest areas in New Zealand and how gorgeous it is. And then he jumps into telling about his experience. So he says the first time that he went down the river, the Motu River, he had a guide named Buzz. Buzz was an American guide who was super experienced, had guided people down rivers all over the globe. Anybody would want to have Buzz as their guide when they went down the Motu River. So what does he say? He said that the first day with Buzz, it's a 4-day journey apparently. And the first day they stayed in the upper, quieter waters of the Motu. And what did he say? He said they learned how to do teamwork and coordination. Strokes had to be mastered, and the discipline of following commands without questions was essential. Buzz said that in the boiling fury of the rapids, there wouldn't be any room for mistake. When Buzz bellowed a command above the roar of the water, an instant reaction was essential. They mastered the Motu, and they fought against the river, and they overcame it. This is what the guy who was telling the story said. And at the end of their journey, there was this great feeling of triumph. They had won. They had proved they were superior and felt powerful and good. So, and it sounds like he had a really good time doing it, like it was an experience that he would carry with him. But then he goes on to tell us about his second experience down the Motu. And he really felt like his experience the first time would stand him in good stead for the second time. But he said that it didn't matter at all. For his second guide was this very soft-spoken Kiwi. Now, a Kiwi is a native of New Zealand. And he wondered, how in the world is he ever going to hear this guy when they get down to the rapids and the roar of the water? So as they approached, he realized that he didn't need to have to know anything, that this gentle, quiet, soft-spoken guy just kind of easily and gently watched the water flow by. He watched every single whirlpool. He studied and became engrossed in the nature of the river. He studied the mood of the river. And there was no drama, there was no shouting, there was no contest to master the river. He loved the river. And they moved through each rapid with grace and with beauty. And after a day, the river had become their friend. It wasn't their enemy at all. And they realized that their guide was not their leader. He was just simply someone who had more sensitivity, who had developed more sensitivity to the water and to the river itself. And they began to penetrate the mystery and the majesty of the Motu. They listened to the river. And the author said that the second time around, he saw things that he never even noticed the first time through when he was mastering the river. So I'm going to read the last paragraph because he writes it so beautifully, and I certainly couldn't do any better. So he wrote the last paragraph of his story. At the end of the journey, we had overcome nothing except ourselves. We did not want to leave behind our friend the river. There was no contest, and so nothing had to be won. Rather, we had become one with the river. It remains difficult to believe that the external circumstance of the two journeys were similar. The difference was an attitude and a frame of mind. At the end of the journey, it seemed that there could be no other way. Given the opportunity to choose a leader, everyone would have chosen Buzz. At the end of the second journey, we had glimpsed a very different vision, and we felt humbled and intensely happy. This is living from interbeing, from feeling, being present with what is, no matter what the situation, circumstance, event, whatever it is, and at the same time knowing our oneness with it. In the science of mind, we teach that everything is God. And if that's true, and I believe it is, then we can see that in everything we encounter. And this is really what has been up for me lately. You know, a lot of people have been coming to me, you know, just lamenting, what is going on? This is a crazy world, what is happening? And it doesn't matter which end of the political spectrum you're on. All you got to do is turn on the news and see war and poverty and distrust and anguish and threats of more war and these intense natural disasters all around us. That's all you got to do. And it seems like there is so much that is in contradiction to the nature of the divine, which we say is embedded and underneath everything that exists. So how do we make sense of that craziness? How do we make sense of the confusion and the frustration that we might be feeling? I can only tell you what I'm doing. I am going to basic spiritual principle. I am standing on that because here is the only place that I am empowered, and we are empowered. We're empowered through this. So I'm standing on the idea that when I get up in the morning, I ground myself through my spiritual practice. You know, and I'm probably not anything unlike you. I'm sure you do the same thing. We're all metaphysicians, and we probably all have a daily spiritual meditation practice. And we go to God first thing. Here's what I do. I go immediately to my connection with this power and presence that animates all life. I don't care what you call it, spirit, God, George, whatever it is. It's all the same thing, right? But here's what I've been doing. I've been going in and diving in deeper. I've been asking Spirit to let me feel your presence. Let me feel your peace. Let me feel the allness of your divine nature. And I do, and I sit in that. I am aware that I am aware of the presence of God. I do that even before I go into active prayer work, my affirmative prayer work for what I'd like to create and impress in law. I do that first. Because you know what? I do not want to walk out my door without being grounded in the allness of God. I can't. Because if I do, I'm going to get sucked up in all of the negativity and the fear and the stuff that is so prevalent in our culture. And that's not, a complaint. That's just what I see and feel and what we're all experiencing right now. But it is not the truth. It is not the truth. And so I stand in God. One of the things that I've been doing is I've taken an old habit that I really want to get rid of, and I've turned it into a spiritual practice. So there was some other stuff that I was going to say, but I'm on a roll. So what I've done is every time I feel uncomfortable, Every time I feel like I want to judge something or give some commentary about something, person, place, event, it doesn't matter what it is. Every time I would normally go into judgment behind this, because, I'm so much better than all of the stuff I'm seeing around me, I turn it into a spiritual practice and I ask myself an empowering question. What is this highlighting for me? What is this highlighting that is within me that needs to be healed? Thank you for showing me. Show me the light. Show me the God in this person, situation, or event that is wanting to be revealed. That seed idea. That seed idea that's already there, because everything is God. And so while some things, and we may notice them more often than not, seem contrary to the nature of God, whatever is contrary to the nature of God is rising up so we can shift it. What does Marianne Williamson says, that everything is either love or a call to love. So we're seeing a lot of calls. Let's answer the call. Everything, it's a world waiting to be born, and we are the generator of that. We're generative beings. We can move with this divine nature, just like this gentle Kiwi did as he went down the Motu. We can move with that and sit in that and say, yes, God, I see you. And a couple of months ago, I read this kind of interesting thing that has really stuck with me. And this is really supporting and benefiting my spiritual practice as I try and live that sense of oneness in a deeper way in my life. And it was that a belief is simply a placeholder. A belief is a placeholder as I practice, as I do my spiritual practice, so that I can move into a knowing. A deeper knowing, an embodiment of a spiritual truth. And I was thinking about that. You know what? I don't just believe that the sun is going to rise in the east in the morning when I get up. I don't even question it. I have a knowing that that is the way it is. When I go to the kitchen and flip on the light, I have a knowing, barring some electrical malfunction in the wires, that the light's going to come on. I have a knowing. I want to live my life from a knowing that all is well. All needs are met, that peace and beauty and love and abundance and the sheer joy of living is available to me and you in God. And that as I live in that knowing, it will rise up and present itself. And I'm not doing this alone. We are all thinking into that universal presence. And can you imagine if we all know that together? How that might work? I wasn't going to tell this story, but I'm going to tell it because it just flashed in my head. I told it, sorry, One Heart, One Minders, I told this last week. There's a story about this guy who's walking out of his village in the morning, one morning, and he meets death. And death is coming towards him, and he kind of freaks out. And he goes up to death and he says, "What are you planning on doing?" And death says, "I'm going to take 100 people." And so this guy freaks out, runs back to the village, lets everybody know death is coming and he's going to take 100 people. And so as the day goes on, 1,000 people die. And everybody's incensed. I thought he was only going to take 100. So the guy goes out and looks for death again. He finds death and he says, "You said you were only going to take 100 people. What happened?" And he said, "Oh, no, I kept my word. I only took 100 people. Fear took the rest." Fear took the rest. Well, last week I talked about this. Sorry again, One Heart, One Minders. I talked about how Ernest Holmes told us that we cannot live a choiceless life, that everything we do is a choice, that we induce mind with our thoughts and our feelings and our state of being. We are constantly inducing mind, but we are at choice. I even wrote down what he meant when he said we induce mind, because I thought, Oh, well, let's talk about that. It means it is to induce mind is the act of planting seeds of thought into creative minds. In other words, we're at choice. We're at choice. You and I are at choice. And so as I look around me, what I want to do is establish myself before I even walk out the door that I am one with the nature of God, that I know that no matter what is going on and what looks like the insanity of the world, there is a greater truth that is waiting to be born. That in every expression that looks in contradiction to the nature of divine is the seed of something new. And that I am empowered. We are all empowered to put our mind on that. I don't know if any of you knew about this, but you know Lynn McTaggart is doing that peace intention thing. It's the second day today. I joined in yesterday, but this is the kind of thing that we all need to be doing. She did this worldwide peace intention, mainly focused on Washington and what's going on there, but there were like 3 million people on this call where we held, we went in for 10 minutes and we held the space of peace and all of the divine nature of God to rise up. We just were holding peace. She's doing it again today. We obviously missed it. It's at 10 o'clock Pacific time. She's doing it for the next 2 days. Just Google it. You'll find it if you want to join in. But these are the kinds of things that we're empowered to do. We're not at the mercy of what's going on in the world around us. We are empowered. And here's what I know for sure, that my spiritual practice affects everything. Affects you, affects me. It is, we are in the universal. And as I heal my notion that I am separate from you or separate from anything, I am able to see that in you. And as I heal whatever fear rises up in me as I listen to the news, which I don't do very often anymore, or see things happen around me, as I heal that in me, I contribute to the healing of the world. This is how we heal. So when people ask me, how do you deal with the insanity that you see all around you? I just say, I go to basic spiritual principle. I am looking for a fresh, new way to travel down the Motu. Because that's what we have to do. We're not at the mercy of anything. God is our guide. He's watching every little whirlpool and every little rapid for us. And all I have to do is know that, move from belief through my spiritual practice into a deeper embodiment and knowing. And I am certainly not perfect at this. I have to remind myself all the time. But I can do that, and we can do it together. And through communities like these, we can show up as the greater yet to be. You know, interbeing is very much like compassion. Interbeing is being present with what is and being able to see the greater yet to be. That's when I have compassion for someone, whoever it is who's going through a challenging time. I don't just stick my head in the sand and say, oh, well, too bad, so sad. I look at them and I have compassion for them. I have an empathy for them. But at the same time, I can meet them. What is that Rumi poem about that field out there beyond judgment? I'll meet you there. I'll meet them there. And I'll hold the greater yet to be in God. We can live in the potential, in the possibility of what is possible for all of us. And in this way, we change the world one moment by one moment by one moment and the next. I invite you to join me. Yeah. You want to come with me? Well, I don't know what else I have to say except for that it is lovely to be in your presence, and that I see in each of you the light of God. Beyond any illusion of separation, I see into the depth of your God nature, and I honor it so much. Thank you.